On-Air NetScraper 6.0.6 new features. The first feature involves the home page and getting the information about the net you wish to bring up. And that is done by clicking the call sign of the net associated with the net. For instance, in OMIS 20 meter single sideband net, we would click on N3YRZ net control call sign. This brings up the information about that net as provided by NetLogger. The next feature involves a check-in list. We will go to OMIS 15 meter single sideband net check-in list by clicking the net name. You will notice in the new net list check-in list, you have additional information automatically displayed by the where the net operator's name is. If you don't want all this information, simply go to the Tools button in the upper right corner, click on Tools, and down to Settings menu, go to Column Filter, Check-in Filter, and the very top listing is the display name in QTH. If we hit Submit and Close, you will see that the operator information is reduced to just the operator's name. We could still find out about the operator information by simply clicking on the operator's name, and now the NetLogger provided operator information is displayed on a new page. To return back to the default, we simply go to Tools, go to Settings menu, go to Column Filter, Check-in Filter, and re-click on the net display name in QTH. Hit Submit, close that, and the next cycle update is the full listing, default listing. Another question that was asked me recently is, what does the little telephone mean? That's every time On-Air NetScraper wishes to collect data, it polls NetLogger. It does this twice every minute, and when the phone is polling, you will see the phone call being made. The next new feature on 6.0.6 is the status column. Under the status column, if you click on one of the status column entries, you will see you get a definition of what the statuses are. A change we made is that talking is no longer displayed in the status column, but the code RCU is, which stands for talking. This is to reduce space that's being used. Again, if you want more detailed on a user, if you click on the user's call sign, you will get the call sign handling window, and then you can click on lookup. But when you click on lookup, you have to have a QRZ or QRZ-CQ login to be able to pull that information down. Currently, right now, I haven't logged in, so nothing's been saved. So we'll cancel out of this. Again, in this window, you can either block or restore call signs that you do not wish to see or do wish to see. We cancel out of that. And another feature that we'll go over is we'll go back to the home page. If we want to obtain a key because we don't have an AIM key, this is the key I'm talking about. The AIM key allows you to actively join an AIM session. You would go down to the NetLogger menu, click on it, And there's two methods to get the key: request the key, as we say, and that is through either request a name key directly or configure user password. We'll go to configure user password. Right now we already have a key, but we can still request a new key, and we simply do that by hitting the request key. By hitting the request key, we get a required pre-configured email message that will be sent to K3CLR, who will auto-reply to this with a new key. And so in order to request that key, we'll hit the send button in the upper right corner. But you should not modify this message in any way. This message must be in the format that is shown here. So we're going to send the request. Netscraper is telling you that right now the key has been sent. If you do not have a valid key, a valid email client on your phone, you will get an error message saying that Netscraper cannot send the message because there is no valid email client. We will close that. We now need to look for the message that has that key in it, the email message. So we're going to cancel out of that. And if you have a valid client on your phone, you will see the second entry down in the tools menu, email. And so we will click on that, and what is brought up is your default email client on your phone, and you will just see now that new email has come into my phone indicating that there's a new key available for me to copy and paste the key from. We will exit out of this email client, go back to our tools menu, go back to tools, go back to NetLogger menu, go back to configure user login, and now I can paste that key into this entry and hit submit. Another way to request the key, again, is through the NetLogger menu and simply hit request and key. And again, we just hit request to obtain the key. We've already done it, so we won't need to do that again. Another feature that we've set up in this new release is by default now, the screen is a single color background. Again, if you either want to go back to the old background or configure a different color, you go to Tools, you go to Settings menu, you go down to Wallpaper, and then you hit Configure. And here you can either set your default picture, which is the Netscraper default world map picture, or color, or my pictures, or load local picture, or request a login, or request a QRZ picture, which requires a QRZ login. Since we've already selected color, we'll just do submit again here for completeness. We'll go back to settings. We'll go back to wallpaper. Now we're going to drop down to background color. And in here you can see the default color is this very light shade of green. If I want to change that color to say a light shade of blue, I would click on the blue and then hit the X and exit out of it. Hit submit, close the window, and the next cycle the window will change. Now that this is set like this, like any other changes you have, they will stay in existence until you delete the application from your phone. And then the next time you install the application, it'll be reset to the defaults. And that's the main changes to 6.0.6. I hope you enjoy those.